My name is Stan Johnson. I live in Brookfield, Wisconsin. The Silver Bullet was born with an illustration of my own back in about 1964. It was a concept to build a streamlined modified Roadster. They were starting to streamline dragsters. I thought it'd be neat as an young industrial designer to streamline a Roadster. Fully streamlined, canopy over the driver, covered wheel wells, everything. And everyone asks about the headlights, but we did, this is a Chrysler powered car, a 273, and we did new car shows for Chrysler. And I thought, since I had a radiator, put the radiator on because it's a Roadster, which they still do, as you know, on Alters, for no particular reason other than this nostalgia. So I thought, well, I'll make headlights and put headlights on for the auto shows alone. We never ran with them. Like I say, I started on it in about 65 with two partners who both passed away, and built most of it from scratch, even the injection, most of the engine parts, because we were the only ones running a 273. The canopy and so on is all fiberglass, handmade, and the grill is handmade. About everything is handmade, and it uses a Dodge truck transmission, which bolted up to the 273 Dodge truck crank, which is a 318 item. We shifted from just second to third, and we had a lot of gear, about a 430 gear, and we would turn consistent about 143 or so, which was good enough to get the C-modified national record, which at that time was a drag news record. Remember those? And in fact, there's a picture of the record on the sign that we have here. Yeah, the history is pretty. We didn't touch on the history part of the car, which, as I said, we built it and raced it in the early to late 60s. Sold it in 69 to start my own business, industrial design business. It was sold to Canada. Went to Europe for about 5 years, and then I lost track of it in Canada. It was, as best I can tell, it was taken apart. Only about 15 years ago, parts started showing up at some of the swap meets in Canada. A friend of mine saw a picture of the parts and said, well, it's Stan's Silver Bullet car. So I contacted the people in Canada and said, this is what you want to look for. This is what the rest of the car looked like. And a friend in Canada searched for about at least 10 years looking for parts at swap meets. Got up to a point of about 70% of the parts, and a little over a year ago, I made him an offer on the parts. I said, I'm running out of time. This has been 47 years, and fortunately, I had a good recollection of how I built it and a collection of parts, pictures, of the parts. So I got about 70% of the parts back in November of 2012. Worked on it almost every day for a year and finished it this January 2014. And it's exactly like it was originally built. They're unnecessarily exactly. I could have fudged, and my two partners have both passed away, and I just felt responsibility to make it exactly like it was, which we have done. We came down as spectators, we being my two sons and myself, about 3 years ago. The size and the quality of the meat, this is just, why go anywhere else? I have a brand new car to debut, and I picked the best venue, I think.